We don't want everyone to come into the business thinking it's going to be easy, because if you come at that, it's going to be an easy mentality. You're not going to do that thing what you said when you did 1,500 magnets and you did all that hard graft.
If I was independent, I wouldn't have done the whole magnet thing. I think I would have just packed my bags and that would have been, I'm done. This got hard really quick. I'm done.
So what kept you around then?
Well, it's accountability, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's something I've been listening to a few podcasts. And a lot of podcasts talk gyms up.
That's good.
But then like
the mowing ones, yeah. Which ones do you listen to on the mowing ones? It's the
so Lawn Starts, which is
Lawn Starts. Yeah, Gary's cool. Yeah,
that's really good. He's interviewed Dan on there. So if anyone wants to listen to Dan's story on there, it's actually pretty. That's a really good story. And then there's the Skull Sessions guys.
Yeah, Catch Pro.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So they're really good. And then Don's given me some YouTube guy to listen to, who's like his business mentor.
Which one's that? Mike Andes? Okay.
No. So he's not like I don't think he's a Mowing guy. But I've listened to him and Mike Andes before I started, because that just pumped me up.
And Mike's a legend, mate. We've got some videos online with Mike Andes. I don't know if you've seen them, but we had it here.
I watched all of them, mate. Listen.
Oh, good. Cool.
I did all of that before starting gyms. Like once I knew that I'd signed up, I listened to like all your podcasts, went through all the YouTube. So like when I went to the training session, it was like, oh, there's job. I nearly said hello to you, like, because
should have.
I felt like hello like a mate, because I felt like, because I've been watching you in the shower, me in the shower, watching you on YouTube, for like two or 3 weeks prior to going to training. So,
hopefully, I'm glad you did all that research, because we like people to do research on us. And like, I'll give you an example, like that other franchise you probably went to. I don't know how much information was online, but for us, you can consume all this content in the hope that when you come to training, or if you're a bit unnervous, it's just there to make your mind a bit easy, because we want to try and share real stories with franchisees. They're not edited in any way. We just have the one from start to finish, like we're going to do for you. We don't cut anything out, just so that people can just hear genuine small business owners like yourself and Dan and all these other people, dog wash, cleaning, whatever, and just to hear that journey, and we try and keep in there things that are like the stuff you're saying. Let's say, didn't nearly want to leave and stuff. Most other franchises or just brands would cut that out, right? We're going to keep that in there, because I think it's really, really important to have that transparency, because it's not, we don't want everyone to come into the business thinking it's going to be easy, because if you come at that, it's going to be an easy mentality. You're not going to do that thing what you said when you did 1,500 magnets and you did all that hard graft. We don't want people going to,
If I was independent, I wouldn't have done the whole magnet thing. I think I would have just packed my bags and that would have been like, I'm done. Like this got hard really quick. I'm done. Because I've received a phone call at least maybe say 7 times since I started this with job offers.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking $180,000, $200,000 a year jobs.
It's great money. FIFO sort of stuff, or?
Yeah, so some FIFO, some like foreman, or like that type of like supervising work and that sort of stuff in construction. And
have you been tempted?
No.
So let's go back to this time though when you were struggling. So you've gone and you've given Dan a clip about the leads and stuff. What's he come back to you then, or what sort of got you remotivated then? So you've gone, I need more work or whatever. What sort of stuff did you then do to sort of push yourself forward and keep going? How'd you do that?
I don't know. I think he's just really passionate, and it's same with Don. So Don and Dan, like super passionate, and I think it's more like I just needed someone to vent to.
Yeah. Well, you do that absolutely in business. You do.
They should probably have like some sort of psychological degree or whatever.
Most franchisors have to be counselors as well, for sure.
Yeah, like I don't know whether you guys give them any sort of training in that department, but they surely need it. Like that stuff that I'd like. So Don called me, and I just had a conversation with someone in the street. This is about my 4th week. This is probably a nice little set-off point for me. So about 4 weeks in, our house, not our house that we live in, but our house that we rent out, had been broken into 3 times, and they'd stolen the car. So we were replacing windows and doors and trying to deal with the tenants and things like that. So already having a really great week. Then someone had told me that the franchisee that went out with me had quit. And that's just someone on the street telling me that. Probably prematurely told me that as well. And he'd been tarnishing the brand anyway. But so I'd heard that. And then I heard that there was a new franchisee coming. And I'm like, man, I've just started. Like, I can't share the leads. Funny story is I've actually given that guy work because I was too busy.
That's great. Great to hear. Okay, so that's a natural reaction. Such a natural reaction when that happens.
Yeah, so and just building a rapport with that guy. I call that guy all the time too. That's Heath. Heath out in Penman. So if he's listening, shout out to you, Heath.
So he's just started Heath as well last month, has he?
I think he started maybe 3 or 4 weeks after me. And I did my research. I'm like, okay, so there's this new guy that's just started. I called him, spoke to him, and then checked my leads. And I'm like, I think my gym's leads are halved. So now I'm angry about that as well, because we sort of share it. So we don't share a territory. We have our own territories, but the majority of the work comes from vacant territory. So I only have like 80 houses in my territory. That's it. And it's bushland. So I actually haven't done a job in my territory or had a lead from my territory. I haven't dropped any magnets in my territory. But I work in the vacant area of Dubbo. So the new guy had started, and he's in Narromine, which is half an hour away. And he was also taking some of the leads from the vacant area in Dubbo. But guess what? I called Dan about it, maybe Don, anyway, and emailed Jim. And this was probably the unfair email that I sent through. And I think I took accountability a little bit. I was like, man, like, you need to take some accountability for this stuff and just like shake it off and just get out there and get yourself leads. And then maybe 2 days later, I had a $4,500 landscaping job approved. And then I was like, oh, yes, like, great, some wiggle room. I can knock that job out in 2 days. The costing of it came in a lot lower because we've obviously got the gym's pricing at Bunnings. I had to get some stuff from Bunnings. And then we've got contractor pricing in town too at the local landscaping place. So the price came down. So that boosted my hourly rate on that job as well. And that was like garden bed mulching and pruning, replacing trees and whacker packing some gravel in. So I had this huge contract approved. And then I started getting a couple of bigger ones approved. And this is like week 5 or whatever. And I was like, oh, well, now I'm too busy. So between like 1 week of saying, oh no, there's someone that I'm sharing leads with, the next week I'm like, oh, I better give him a lead.
It's amazing how
it can happen that quick. And it did. Like the transition from making 700 to about 1,500 per week into that $3,000 to $6,000 bracket, it happened in a week.
Thank you for listening to the episode of the More Than Just Mowing podcast by Jim's Mowing. If you do need help with your local gardening expert, please give us a call at 131 546 for Australia, 0800 454 654 for New Zealand, or head to jimsmowing.com.au or jimsmowing.co.nz. If you liked what you heard, please make sure to leave us a review as well, wherever you consume your podcast. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.